So that I could stay nice and secluded and private just in this nice little space. That's why I've brought the dual burner. And you'll see what I'm going to concoct up on it in a little while. But anyway, I'm really hungry now, so I'm going to knock up some food and empty that bag. Okay, so I've got just over half a litre of water ready to boil up and make some soup, starting off with a chicken stock cube, which is going to boil up in there. But tonight we're going to have as a starter crab meat and sweet corn soup, some pre-chopped up spring onions for the finish, some corn flour to thicken it up, and some ginger. 2 eggs in there, one for breakfast tomorrow, but the white of an egg has to be carefully dribbled in, so then you get the white egg effect as it finishes off cooking up. Only takes about 15-20 minutes. Anyway, I'm going to get it on the go. Used a wet wipe to clean over my hands and then to get rid of any grimy germs, especially after paddling on the waters, and setting up the basher, what have you, with some antibacterial wipe, and then dry my hands off with a paper towel. Always keep this on one of the D-rings on the rucksack. Ready now to mix the chopped ginger with the crab meat and also sherry. This is cream sherry, you can use pale sherry. The actual traditional ingredient would be rice wine, but this comes up at the same flavour. The nearest thing to it that's easy access compared to rice wine is sherry, so that's going to go in there and mix up. Taking that down to a simmer now. And then putting in the mixture of crab meat, sherry and the ginger. Close the lid, get it out of the way so you don't cut your fingers on it. So that's got to simmer now for about 10 minutes. I've just opened the lid again because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up the corn flour and water mixture, just a very small amount, to thicken the soup. So I'll use about a teaspoon of corn flour. Although it's normally better when you're making a thickener using corn flour to use cold water, I'm going to use some of the soup solution and then just mix it up. It's not to make it too thick and stodgy, it's just the right amount to to sort of make it a bit more syrupy in texture. Texture's just started to thicken a little bit. Normally if I was making one serving, I'd get one of these small tins, or sometimes even fresh sweet corn, but it tends to be much sweeter and tender with a lot of tinned sweet corn. So normally I'd actually use about maybe half of these for one portion, but I'm just going to stick the whole lot in. Maybe save a few for a kasha. Couple of spoonfuls in there. I'll save for safari dog. Coming to the end of it now, it's not even been 15 minutes. Just letting that simmer through. But what I do is traditional Chinese food, they'll use a lot of seasoning and sometimes sugar with a lot of their meals. So out of my tea bag and sugar container, I'm just going to put in about what would be a large teaspoonful, and in turn it just heightens that sweet flavour just that little bit more. Again, it's down to personal choice really. Oh yeah, quality. So I've taken a large egg out of one of the egg containers. I'm going to crack it, separate the yolk, and then take that away, and then put the egg white and just pour it in so it dribbles and makes ribbons. Once that's switched off, now I'm going to garnish with some spring onion, all chopped up. You can put the spring onion in the last sort of minute or two of simmering, but what tends to happen with spring onions, especially in this sort of dish, they can lose their tangy flavour if you actually cook them with the process of making the soup, or any other meal for that matter. So they keep their flavour right at the end of cooking to then be actually added at that time. Oh, yummy. There you can see more of the texture and the colour scheme of the soup. I left it about 5 minutes. Once it all cooked through, the saucepan has cooled down around the edge. Obviously it's stainless steel, so it tends to hold its heat for much longer, but round the edge for about ½ an inch to an inch I can drink out the saucepan, so I can down some of the liquid and then spoon some of the solids down my throat. Bring it on. The novelty is 5-star restaurant type food in a place like this. Warming, tangy, and this is just my starter. I've got spicy, tangy Chinese pork with noodles and fresh vegetables. To cook on that, it's going to be just so convenient to use. But meanwhile, the safari dog. Yeah, you're right, Karsh. You're all right. Yeah, you can't have none of this soup. You had a bit of sweet corn mixed with that dog food that comes in a little tray. It was like a pate, I think poultry and veg, and then just put sweet corn with it, and she's eaten half of that. So I'm just going to relax and savour this soup, and then in a little while knock up my main course.